Hey, quick note, in this video I'm going to be introducing a new investment style pie, so stay tuned for the end of the video for that. I believe that the supply chain shortages are actually going to be at peak insanity now. Okay, why would I say that? Why wouldn't supply chain shortages be at peak insanity in November, right before the Christmas holiday season? Because folks, let me ask you this. If you are a business owner, are you going to sit around in August going, oh man, the supply chain issues are a big issue and freight's taking a lot longer. You know, I should procrastinate my Christmas ordering to November. No, that kind of thinking is going to lead you to go bankrupt. Instead, you're going to order all your crap well in advance and you're going to store it. You're better off buying more warehousing space and making sure you never run out of product again. And you get rid of just-in-time inventory because of the fragility of our supply chain system. Just-in-time inventory is, the easiest picture I think of is with just-in-time inventory is, let's say you're assembling a car and the car's done, the axles are in, you just need to throw the wheels on. The best case scenario for the most efficient corporation ever is the dude who's like, okay, the car's here, I'm ready for the wheels now. Turns around, and here's FedEx going, here are your wheels, sir. That's just-in-time inventory, because now you didn't have to store it long, you didn't have to inventory, you didn't have to deal with theft and decay, and the depreciation of the product, right? That's just-in-time inventory. But, and that's kind of what we had always been heading to with capitalism, because it's very efficient and lowers costs. But the problem with that is as soon as you have supply chain issues, now you go, I am ready for my wheel. Oh no, I have to wait 8 weeks for it, right? That's worse than just storing it. So I believe that the supply chain issues could actually be at a precipice right now. That supply chain issues, while I expect them to persist throughout 2022, will also start inflecting down, along with inflation starting to inflect down, because suppliers and merchants are trying to stock up before the holidays. Duh. That's common sense. Virus trends have taken a promising turn in recent weeks. Critical manufacturing centers are reopening. Consumers are only slowly returning to spending on experiences after a huge shift in preference towards household goods. But that reversal will continue to pick up as new COVID cases fall and vaccines become available for children. That is actually interesting. So in addition to my argument, which they have not mentioned my argument yet, which my argument I think is very, very powerful, that you're going to load up on inventory prior to the holiday season. But in addition to that, they're saying, hey, look, people, and this is a Kathy Woodian argument as well, people already bought the crap that they wanted. People already bought their level 99 coffee mug. People already bought, is it this one? Yeah. People already bought, wait for it. People already bought their Spy is Falling shirt right below where the little video plays on your YouTube channel. You can click buy on it. People already got their stuff. Now it's time to spend on experiences. So, okay, let's see here. Many of our savvy retailers and importers Let's go. See? What are we talking about here, folks? Come on, it's common sense. Many of our savvy retailers and importers advanced their orders. We started seeing Christmas goods arrive on our shores back in June. Ho, that's even earlier than I expected. My goodness. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Nailed it. Normally, that arrival would take place at the end of August, beginning of September. Nice. Large retailers with sophisticated supply chains like Walmart, Target, Costco will continue to thrive as transportation brokers like XPO Logistics, which can help level the field for smaller companies, as will brokers like XPO. Got it. Toy giants Mattel and Hasbro will have a holiday edge over smaller rivals. For shoppers, Xbox One gaming consoles will be easier to come by than PlayStation 5s. Video game publishers, okay, whatever. Inflation, which has lately spiked in a rise in bond yields from barely perceptible levels to almost mentionable ones, could remain elevated. Okay, so basically, hey, look, the 10-year treasury was super low, spiked up, but it only spiked up a little bit, so that 1.48 level right now, and maybe will remain flat here, but we don't actually expect it to continue skyrocketing. Okay, let's see here. Labor markets remain tight. Higher pay and prices for manufactured goods will stick, but overall inflation is likely to slow to unalarming levels next year. The cause for shortage since the start of the pandemic have been many and varied, but they fall into few groups. A handful were true one-offs, like the March grounding of a ship that blocked the Suez Canal, which carries 12% of the worldwide trade, the canal does, or a Louisiana factory fire that knocked out production of swimming pool chlorine. Got it. Oh my gosh. Number of container ships anchored outside the port of Los Angeles. Normal day 1, September 19th, 73. Oh my gosh. See, that's what I'm saying, like peak supply chain fears now. Some were actions with unforeseen consequences, okay, whatever. But most causes have been direct results of the virus. That missed trip to Disney with the funds redeployed to a new patio set and big screen TV was part of a vast spending shift from services to goods, bolstered by stimulus checks. Exports from Asia, where many consumer goods are made, jumped 20% relative to those from Europe and the United States. That compares with just a one. Okay, cool. So basically, yeah, it makes sense. You still want to spend your money because God forbid people actually invest in stocks. But anyway, people still want to spend their money. And yeah, so like they're saying here, instead of buying a trip to Disney, you're spending it on fixing up your home or some. Ooh, I could finally afford that restoration hardware expensive piece of wood or metal junk. So that has led to runs on key components like computer chips for appliances and vehicles, spending on plants and equipment to make those items is expected to surge, whatever. Oh, yeah. Okay, so remember somebody, I don't know, maybe you don't remember. Somebody asked me earlier in my live stream, what about CapEx spending? Is CapEx going to go down? Like when interest rates go up, right? So interest rates go up, and is that going to lead capital spending or investments into companies to go down? My argument was no, because companies are spending like crazy right now, milking the low interest rates because they know it's like temporary cheap money, right? So this is interesting here. Spending on plants and equipment to make those items is expected to surge more than 50% this year from pre-pandemic levels. So another thing that our markets are or like I think investors are missing is the fact that every single corporation that exists is literally, in my opinion, 5 times more efficient than it was pre-pandemic. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but let me ask you this, okay? Because people are like, oh my gosh, the valuations of the stock market is so much higher than it used to be or whatever. Look, when you can go to a company like Apple or Tesla or Google or whatever, and or any corporation, and the pandemic hits, and you can lay off thousands of people, tens of thousands of people can get laid off, and then you can just happen to hire back the good ones, the really good workers. No offense to people who weren't hired back, okay? That's not the case for everyone. No triggering the viewers. But let's be real here. There's going to be an element of filtering going on at the corporations. You are making these businesses more human efficient. Now you are investing in better machinery to prevent or warehouses or plants, whatever, you know, PPE, is it property, plant, and equipment? You're investing in these things. That's an accounting term. But anyway, I don't know why I just said that, squirrel. But anyway, then you actually, in the 10 years thereafter, are a way more efficient company. The pandemic ended up being a gift to company efficiency. That is really, really important as an investor in the stock market because it helps push margins up. Very, very important. Okay, but shortages there are likely to stretch well into next year. Of course. I mean, you can't build PPE that quickly. Not to be confused with personnel protective equipment, plant, property, and equipment. Passenger planes carry about half of air freight, so a sluggish recovery for air travel has added to shipping burdens. Fine. Under normal circumstances, the ideal number of ships to drop anchor outside of California's San Pedro complex consists, is 0. In June, there were 6, whatever. Now they're like 70 to 80. Okay, got it. Lots of ships stocked outside. That's crazy. I should go over there and fly my drone over there. But that would require me to drive to LA, which I'm probably not going to do. I love how they put the evergreen here. That's a cool picture. Anyway, the ship jam will not be cleared by Christmas. Sure. Of course not. But he predicts a holiday of plenty, says someone. Who knows? They were interviewed by Barron, so we'll just leave it at that. There will be goods on the store shelves, not saying that everybody who is interviewed by Barron's knows what they're talking about. There will be goods on store shelves in fulfillment centers for us to order. My only advice is maybe for the American consumer, like I'm doing, shop a little early. That's prudent. Trucking companies have, and use a firm. Trucking companies have struggled to find new drivers. This is also true, by the way, in the United Kingdom, which is one of the reasons we're seeing those gasoline issues. The piece of it certainly for us is beginning, the piece of it certainly for us is beginning to abate. Retailers have had time to prepare, and shoppers can expect full shelves. There will, in fact, be gifts under the trees. Signs of supply chain stress remain unnerving to investors. In a recent earnings report, Nike lowered its revenue forecast to account in part for factory closures in Nam. Shares lost 6% that day, but there are also signs that relief is coming. New Balance recently told analysts that Vietnam factories could return to 60 to 70% of capacity by mid-October versus 30 to 40% today. If there's one promising indicator on that front, it's that COVID cases worldwide have been falling. Yes. Toy makers sound confident, mostly. Barbie maker Mattel confirmed that it has already factored in shipping challenges. Good. Heck yeah. Also, Nerf said sales might slip from the third to fourth quarter, but won't hurt overall holiday business. Cool. That's great. I expect this season to be insane. It kind of makes you wonder if you can really, I wonder if you could start investing in some of the retail consumer companies. It'd be very interesting. That would be very interesting. Yeah, actually, Jolly, we've covered this story here. This is actually a good one. This is, the Federal Reserve has actually talked about this as well in some papers, which I've done a video on about. But basically comparing post-wars to post-pandemics. It's true. In wars, contributors to society die. In pandemics, people who don't contribute to society tend to be more of the ones who die. This is also a very good point. Not saying you want to filter your society out to more efficient people, but and that sounds very harsh. I'm just talking about that from an investor point of view. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, Jefferies, I'm going to just walk away from that one. Jefferies analyst who covers mass merchants and toy companies says holiday goods availability could go either way depending on whether congestion eases over the next 30 days. Most years, retailers could replenish inventories 2 or 3 times between mid-October and mid-December. This year, shoppers should see healthy stock levels to start, then draw down in a small surge as popular items run out. Got it. PlayStation 5, good luck. Okay, Xbox One become available. Great. As for GameStop, will thrive and receive plenty of holiday consoles, and that the Reddit traders are directionally right, but also the stock is overvalued by $150. Oh my gosh, he didn't say at $150. He said by $150. Ooh. He is bullish on video game publishers, Activision and EA, Take-Two Interactive, but says Take-Two is less well-positioned for holiday because it recently delayed the release of GTA 5. Oh, that's a bummer. Among toy makers, prefers Hasbro to Mattel. I mean, this whole article here gives you a whole lot of ideas in terms of things that you can invest in. This is one of the reasons I love Barron's. But yeah, I mean, think about it. Hasbro, with Nerf and Activision Blizzard, which has recently sold off. There could be an argument to make like a basket of like supply chain stocks. That would be interesting. Supply shortage stocks. Yeah. Well, I'll try something like that. Maybe I'll put something together called like metkevin.com/supply. I might do that. That'd be cool. All right. Anyway. She adds, however, that online shoppers in particular should start shopping early. Okay, we know about this. Soaring prices. Inflation measures that trim items with outlying price gains imply that the headline measure will come down, but slowly, as bottlenecks ease. Okay. Chicago, please, business is growing, whatever. Okay, this was a very good piece. I like this. This was a very fascinating piece about maybe you buy the dip on companies that have just been abused by the supply chain crises, and you YOLO the dip on those. That's an interesting idea. I'm gonna play with that. So maybe by the time you're watching this, there'll be something at metkevin.com/supply. If not, set a reminder to check it tomorrow. So cool. Well, thank you so much for watching this. Make sure to get yourself a free stock with Public, worth all the way up to $70 by going to metkevin.com/public. Check out the courses on learning the psychology of money, the psychology of real estate, how not to be a weenie baby, make YouTube videos, sales, whatever. Check those out, link down below. Coupon code called Diamond Hands down there. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for being here, and goodbye.